The first night of battles on The Voice featured some big moves, most notably John Legend and Adam Levine whipping out one of their most powerful tools as coaches, the save. Each of them, including Kelsey Ballerini and Michael Bublé, has only one to use to rescue someone from their team who has lost a showdown with another team member. Legend used the rare move on New Orleans native Nell Simmons, 40, after she went head-to-head with another of his singers, Olivia Cupid Harris, a 34-year-old from Dallas. They sang Roberta Flack's "Feel Like Makin' Love," and both women killed it. Afterward, Bublé complimented them both. "You guys transported us into another era, and I loved it." And Levine lamented that he hadn't turned for Simmons on her blind audition. "You guys are so strong," the Maroon 5 frontman said, "but the big revelation here, I think, is Nell. We were 100% incorrect not to turn their big red chairs for her." To when Legend made the close call in favor of Cupid Harris, Levine pounced and attempted to steal Simmons. "I really should have turned for you originally," Levine said. "That was my big takeaway when I heard you sing today, 'cause when you took your moment, I was like, damn. I just think you're really special, and I think you were overlooked, and I don't want that to happen again." Legend seemed like he was having the kind of regret love songs are written about, and he used his save. Oh, how the tables had turned in just a few seconds. Now it was all up to Simmons to decide which team she was on. As the battle rounds of The Voice season began, there was a palpable sense of suspense in the air. These battle rounds are a high-stakes event in which contestants compete against one another for a coveted spot in the live shows. This was the first night of competition, and the conflicts were ferocious, the voices were forceful, and the judgments made by the coaches had long-lasting implications. The moment was considerably more intense for John Legend and Adam Levine because they each had only one save left for the season. This meant that they had the chance to save a talent who they couldn't bear to send home. In the meantime, the evening also included the introduction of the most recent guest coaches, Michael Bublé and Kelsey Ballerini, who both brought their own special set of skills and knowledge to the table. An exciting evening that kept supporters on the edge of their seats was what transpired during the course of the event. John Legend and Adam Levine are acting as coaches for The Voice. Contestants always perform to the best of their abilities throughout the battle rounds of The Voice. Yet, the judgments that the coaches make can frequently feel like a reflection of their artistic ability and their ability to mentor. Both John Legend, who is well known for his empathic coaching approach and his dedication to musicianship, and Adam Levine, who is a seasoned frontman for Maroon 5 and has an eye for raw talent, found themselves in a difficult situation on the first night of the concert. A heartfelt attempt to save John Legend. It is well known that John Legend is able to produce performers that are subtle and soulful, and his approach to coaching reflects this skill. During the first night of the competition, his squad was set against each other in an intense battle that would have any coach beginning to question their decision. In order to highlight both of their talents, his two candidates, Emily, a powerful country singer with a delicate vulnerability, and Jordan, a dynamic and diverse performer, have been matched together for a duet that displayed both of their potential. The song that they selected was a poignant ballad, and when they performed, their voices blended together in a wonderful harmony while they were singing. The combination of Jordan's deep delivery and Emily's warm and rich voice on stage resulted in a moment that was just magnificent. It was one of those performances in which the audience could feel the connection between the vocalists, and the genuine emotion that was being expressed was obvious. When the performance came to an end and the coaches stood up to provide their feedback, it became abundantly evident that John was faced with a difficult choice. Both of the contenders received acclaim from Michael Bublé, who was serving as a guest coach for the evening, for their impressive performances. Bublé remarked, "Both of your voices are filled with such a great deal of heart. However, I had the impression that both of you individually contributed something unique to this song, which worked wonderfully together. It's a difficult choice to make." This season, Kelsey Ballerini, a country music sensation who is also serving as a guest coach, shown the same level of admiration. "Jordan, your voice has a depth that is difficult to ignore, but Emily, your tone is so tender," the speaker said. When John Legend had finished listening to the comments made by the other coaches, he paused for a bit to think about it. According to what he stated, "I am so proud of both of you. And to tell you the truth, I could go either way. Today, however, I am going to make use of my save in order to keep you, Emily. There is something quite remarkable about your voice, and I am aware that you are just starting to realize your full potential." Emily, overcome with appreciation, embraced her fellow colleague, and the crowd erupted in cheers as she did so. Despite the fact that he was inconsolable, Jordan was polite in his departure because he was aware that Emily's journey was only getting started. When John made his decision, he was not only considering the artist's talent, he was also considering the artist's potential and the importance of fostering that potential. A courageous choice made by Adam Levine. While all was going on, Adam Levine was in the middle of his own war, quite literally, when the performance of his squad came under the spotlight. Adam is well known for his ability to recognize new potential that has not yet been developed, and he takes great pride in encouraging artists to step outside of their comfort zones. Max, an indie pop singer with an effortlessly cool aura, and Sarah, a powerful voice with a theatrical presence, were the two candidates that his squad had to square up against on the first night of the competition. They were challenged with delivering an enthusiastic pop anthem, and their performance lit up the stage from the very first note that they played throughout the entire song. Max's eccentric and laid-back attitude worked surprisingly well with Sarah's powerful voice, resulting in a one-of-a-kind and playful vibe that the audience adored. Taking the music and transforming it into something completely new was how they made it their own to make it their own. At the moment when the last note was still hanging in the air, Adam stood up to provide his response. Kelsey Ballerini, who was experiencing the excitement of the performance, passionately nodded her head from time to time. Both of you brought the ideal combination of vitality and emotion to the table. It was impossible not to catch Max's infectious spirit, and Sarah, your voice is absolutely soaring. Blake Shelton, who is never missing an opportunity to crack a joke, made a remark. "I don't even know who to pick. It's like having to choose between either of my two favorite children." There was no denying the pressure that Adam was under when it came time to make the decision. "This is such a difficult one for me," he began, clearly torn out of his decision. "Mr. Max, you possess something that is truly unique. Your vibe and your sound are just what the world requires. On the other hand, Sarah, your voice is absolutely enormous, and you have this stage presence that is impossible to ignore." After pausing for a few moments, Adam turned his attention to the crowd. It was with a voice that was filled with sincerity that he added, "I'm going to use my save on Sarah. You are the kind of artist who has the potential to amaze audiences with each and every performance, and I am interested in seeing where you can go if you are given the appropriate guidance." The disappointment that Max felt was evident, but he took the decision in stride and offered his congratulations to Sarah while doing so. Adam made a courageous choice, which reflected his conviction that Sarah possessed the capacity to develop further as an artist and to push the boundaries of what was possible. Both Michael Bublé and Kelsey Ballerini will be serving as guest coaches. While John Legend and Adam Levine were making their judgments that would change the course of the game, the guest coaches for the evening, Michael Bublé and Kelsey Ballerini, provided crucial insights and brought star power to the battle rounds. The two individuals each brought their own distinct skills to the table, bringing viewpoints that complemented the visions of the primary coaches. Michael Bublé, who is well known for including big band and vintage jazz influences in his music, presented a viewpoint that was rich in artistic and musical qualities. As a result of his ability to recognize subtle performances and concentrate on vocal technique, the candidates gained an additional layer of self-assurance and complexity. His criticism was frequently poetic, and he encouraged participants to embrace vulnerability and storytelling via the songs they sang. Kelsey Ballerini, on the other hand, brought her significant expertise in the realm of country music, which allowed her to connect profoundly with the candidates who had a sound that was more traditionally associated with country music. Her excitement for up-and-coming talent was infectious, and the energy she exuded on stage made her a favorite among the contestants as well as the coaches. During her performance, she provided the vocalists with constructive criticism, which inspired them to express their feelings and be authentic when performing on stage. By working together, Bubbly and Ballerini were able to elevate the coaching experience by providing new views that were essential in influencing the performances of the candidates. What role does the save play? After the conclusion of the first night of the battles, it became unmistakably apparent how powerful the one save could be. Emotionally, John Legend made the decision to preserve Emily, which indicated his profound faith in her potential. Adam Levine, on the other hand, made the courageous decision to keep Sarah, which highlighted his dedication to encouraging his artists to step outside of their comfort zones. It was not simply about talent when the dramatic saves were made. Rather, it was about selecting an artist who had the potential to develop and make an effect. As a result of the guest coaches contributing their priceless ideas, the battle for the live shows has only become more intense. The selections that were made on the first night of The Voice set the stage for what is sure to be an amazing season of the show, which will feature both powerful performances and difficult decisions yet to come. The battles are still going on, and it is becoming increasingly obvious that this season will be full of emotion, passion, and great skill. For John Legend and Adam Levine, their only saves of the season may prove to be very crucial in determining the course that the competition will take in the future. See every contestant advancing in The Voice Season 27 battle rounds. He pleaded with her, "I've heard and seen your talent from the day you walked on this stage the first time, and I know how special you are. I would love to continue working with you." He was in luck because Simmons was feeling generous. "John, you kinda broke my heart today, but I'm gonna give you one more shot, John," Simmons said. The All of Me singer then told the camera that he was relieved to keep the poised and charismatic artist on his team. Simmons had Legend worried. Michael Bublé's attempt to lure the Voice contestant with surprise trophy blows up in his face. As they worked with their advisors for the season, Little Big Town for Ballerini, Cynthia Erivo for Bublé, Coco Jones for Legend, and Kate Hudson for Levine, the contestants attempted to impress their famous mentors. Team Levine's Darius J., a 35-year-old from Pahokee, Fly, and Britton Moore, a 21-year-old from San Antonio, did just that with their haunting rendition of Radiohead's Creep. Ballerini called their performance magic, adding, "I think both of you have a great shot at winning this show. And you're not on my team, and it makes me sad. Maybe we can change that." Levine selected Moore, and both Ballerini and Bublé wanted to steal Darius J., but no one had a chance. This love singer realized the value of Darius J., and he used his soul save. It was enough to keep Darius J. on Team Levine.